My name is Ivy Talbot, and after 8 long years of sacrifice, I finally bought the apartment I had dreamed of. No vacations, no lavish birthdays, endless overtime. Every skipped comfort became one more brick in the life I was building for myself. When the keys were finally in my hand, I planned a small celebration. Nothing extravagant, just 15 guests, mostly family, invitations sent a month early, group reminders, personalized menus, cupcakes ready on the counter, candles glowing in every room. I cleaned twice, folded linen napkins, checked the clock every few minutes, and then I waited. No knock at the door, no running late. No one came. As the sun dipped behind the skyline outside my new windows, my phone buzzed. It was my mother's social media post. Champagne glasses clinking in someone else's house. Smiling faces. My family celebrating together, somewhere else. The caption read, "Proud of our girl's first home." A filtered smile, a public toast. My name tagged for appearance, but not a single person had shown up in real life. The photos had been pulled from my own page. I stood there alone in the home I built from exhaustion, discipline, and hope, and realized they had never planned to come. Not to my party, not to my joy, not to me. I didn't call anyone. I didn't argue. I turned off the lights, sat on the kitchen floor, and ate alone while the candles burned out one by one. And when the last flame disappeared, I whispered into the dark, "You only get to betray me once." And the next morning, I made coffee in my new kitchen and stared out at the city. The apartment was beautiful. Hardwood floors, sunlight, silence. Yet somehow, I felt like a guest in my own happiness. Then the doorbell rang. It was my neighbor, Mrs. Keene, carrying a tiny potted plant. She smiled and said, "This place deserves love, and so do you." She left after a minute, but I cried after the door closed, because kindness from a stranger had felt warmer than years of obligation from family. Later that day, I opened the family group chat. Messages everywhere. "You should have reminded us again." "Your brother had a game." "Next time, let's celebrate at Mom's." Then one final message from my mother. "By the way, can you co-sign Ezra's lease?" I stared at the screen. Then I opened my banking app. 2 automatic payments were still coming out of my account, my mother's cable bill and my brother's car insurance. I canceled both. Then I typed one sentence. "I bought this apartment for peace, not to sponsor people who act like I don't exist. Consider this the last payment." The chat went silent. No defense, no outrage, just emptiness. And for the first time, silence felt like freedom. A week later, my mother called. Sweet voice, sharp intentions. She explained that Ezra's lease application had failed because I had removed myself as backup co-signer. Then she asked if I could just help one more time. I didn't let her finish. "I removed myself," I said calmly. "The same way I removed the spare keys I left under your mat." She called me dramatic. That word again. The same word they used whenever I was disappointed. Whenever I noticed being overlooked. Whenever I asked for basic respect. I ended the call. Blocked the number. Deleted the shared family calendar. Then I went to the rooftop and watched the skyline blink beneath the stars. For the first time, I wasn't angry. I was light. And then came an unexpected message from my cousin Sarah. She had attended the family gathering and told me something that stopped me cold. My mother had told everyone I didn't want visitors, that I preferred to celebrate alone. A lie. Sarah apologized and asked if she could come see the apartment now, and I said yes. Because healing doesn't mean shutting everyone out. It means choosing carefully who still deserves a place in your life. Sarah arrived the next weekend with pastries and a hug that felt like home. We sat on the floor, ate dessert from napkins, and talked for hours. She asked, "Do you miss them?" I thought for a long time before answering. "I miss the version of them I hoped was real," I said. But I like this silence more than begging for noise that hurts. She nodded. No judgment, no lecture, just understanding. That night, I realized something important. This apartment wasn't a reward I owed anyone access to. It was proof of what I could build without them. Then came the envelope, a formal letter from the family lawyer asking if I would voluntarily transfer partial ownership of my apartment to Ezra. As a symbol of unity, I laughed. Then I wrote one word across the form. Denied. No speech, no drama, just boundaries. 3 days later, Ezra showed up at my door. No apology, no warning. He walked through my apartment like a real estate agent inspecting a listing, critiqued the lighting, opened my fridge, poured himself juice. Then he said, "You know, it would mean a lot to the family if we put this place in everyone's name." I took the glass from his hand, poured the juice down the sink, and replied, "Equal means everyone builds, not everyone takes." He stormed out. I locked the door and laughed, not from bitterness, from relief. The weeks later, I hosted my first real dinner party. 3 friends, Sarah, 1 coworker, takeout containers, cheap wine, music from my phone. Someone spilled curry and everyone laughed harder. No pretending, no obligations, no emotional debt. When the last guest left, Sarah hugged me and whispered, "You're finally home." And she was right, because home isn't where people feel entitled to you. Home is where peace doesn't need permission. Months passed. My brother's business collapsed. Fundraisers appeared online. Family members begged for support. I didn't argue. I didn't comment. I donated $7.61, 1 cent for every month I spent saving for my own future. Attached note, from the girl with no guest list. Then I closed the app and went back to my coffee. Now, every morning, I sit barefoot on my balcony, watching the city wake up below me. On the shelf beside the window sits a small framed card from Sarah. It says, "You made a home out of absence." And maybe that's the real ending. They lost me the moment they refused to show up. But I found myself the moment I stopped waiting.